Hi, so if you're watching this video, I hope you've enjoyed my previous videos and where I give you tips, little insights, and just a little perspective of what I've learned and endured doing rideshare. So the reason why I started this page is really because I wanted to document and tell people what I've been going through for the past year doing rideshare. What are the tips, the pros, and the cons? And sometimes it's things that I wish someone would have told me, and I'm sharing with you guys. I notice when I go to different other pages, and before I started my page, everyone has a different point of view. Everyone does things differently. So I just wanted to throw my 2 cents out there. And I hope you guys enjoy it. The video I'm going to make today is about taxes. I really wanted to leave that last as my last video so I can sum all my year up. But I noticed that people are really interested in knowing how to do their taxes. So I'm going to help you with that. And granted, I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not a CPA. So don't take my word literal. But this is abroad and how everyone does it. And at least that's how I did my taxes. My page is my rideshare experience. So let's get right to it. When you're gonna do your taxes, you're gonna need what is called a 1099-K, and you also might get a 1099 misc. A 1099-K is all your earnings you got from rideshare. So that's all the rides you did, everything you've paid off. And if you get a misc, is because you have promotions, you've shared, like I've shared my my promo codes, and people have actually used it. If you get that, then you get a misc. You'll get that from the Dash portal. It doesn't matter where it is, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Uber, whether it's Uber or whether it's Lyft. You go to the dashboard and you can get your 1099 or 1099 misc. If you don't have that, you can use your tax summary. It's perfectly fine. You can use your tax summary. Now that you have that and you know your numbers, you have to file it either with a CPA, which is your traditional way. You go to a CPA, your tax guy, or you can use TurboTax, which is highly recommended due to the fact that both rideshare companies, Uber and Lyft, have partnered up with them, so you can do self-employment for free. Yes, for free. And trust me, it is not hard. It is very simply easy. If you don't know something, if they ask you questions, you can just click on the links of what is this, and they will tell you. And if you still don't understand it, you can hit the research bar, and it will tell you what you actually need. It's really very, very simple, but some people are still afraid. They're afraid to do the taxes by themselves. They think it's complicated, so you can always go to a CPA. But if you do choose to do it through TurboTax, do not go directly to TurboTax. Go either through the portal on Lyft or Uber. When you check out for your 1099-K or misc, you're going to find a link which is going to send you directly to TurboTax. When you do that, you're going to get the credit for free to do it. And once again, you're going to want to make this profitable, and you're going to want to make this fun. So you went to TurboTax. Now, TurboTax, you put in all your information. You're gonna access your Uber portals through TurboTax. So when you put all your basic information, what's your name, your social security, all that information, what's your dependent, then they're gonna ask you for your income. So before I talk about income, the way the government taxes you, the way the IRS taxes you, is your gross income minus your expenses equals your net income. So the government only taxes you on your net income. So let's say hypothetically, you made $50,000, right? But you can expense $40,000 of it. Then the IRS only taxes you on $10,000. That's the way it works. So going back to the expenses, the most biggest expense that we have as rideshare is your vehicle. So when you expense your vehicle, you're going to need to log your mileage, or you can expense all your expenses, which gas, oil changes, car washes, all that. But what is highly recommended is that you do your standard mile deduction. And your standard mile deduction, if you want to know how much you're going to get, you're going to sum up all your business miles. Remember, you cannot put your personal miles. So when you took your child to and from daycare, when you took your wife to lunch and all that, you cannot put that as far as miles. You can try to be funny, but you're gonna get audited one day. You don't ever want to get audited by the IRS. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna take your business miles and see how many business miles you have. Then you multiply that by 54.5, which is what you're gonna get in 2018. It fluctuates, so every year you should check how much is the standard mile deduction, but this year is 54.5. So when you multiply that, it should give you how much is your standard mileage. Usually is very high than your actual expenses, because like for example, me, I got for standard mileage was like $24,000. There's no way I spent $24,000 in this vehicle. It doesn't matter how much oil change I put on it and how much car washes I did. So the two ways you can expense your car is, once again, and the cool thing about TurboTax is that it allows you to input both of them, and it allows you to pick which one is the highest deduction you can do. So you can put all your information, mind you have to keep the receipts. Very important tip. Keep your receipts. You put all your information on how much you pay for oil changes, car washes, maintenance, the upkeep of the vehicle, and then you total it up, and then TurboTax also allows you to multiply the standard mile and say, hey, you get more on your standard mileage, so you can expense that. Another thing that we can all expense, whether you choose one or the other, which is the standard or the actual expenses, is you can expense things like the treats you give to people, like water, candies, and stuff like that. You can also expense cleaning supplies, maintenance fees, as far as Apple Music, as far as like Spotify. If you have those things for your customers, you can expense those things extra. If you want to know how it looks, I'm going to put in the description below my Instagram account. I'm going to put a picture of what are the things, how you can either do standard, how can you do your actual, and what are the things you can all expense. So the next thing is that I'm going to talk to you guys, sorry, because I wrote this down. There's a lot of things. The next thing you can do is, once again, most important, track your miles. Tracking your miles, whether you use QuickBooks, self-employed, or whether you use paper and pen, and when you start driving, once you're gonna get out of the app and you're gonna start driving, you jot down how many miles you have currently, and when you finish driving, you're gonna jot down how many miles from when you finish driving. If you did not get to do that because this was all new to you, you can use the mileage that is on your tax summary from Uber or Lyft. The difference between both of them is that Uber only tracks the miles you had while you had a passenger in your vehicle, so when you were actual drives, and then Lyft tracks down when you were actually in the app. So if you did not track your miles to do expenses of your vehicle, you can pretty much use theirs. But next year coming, please track down all your miles. It's the biggest expense we get, especially that we put all these miles on our vehicle. So you need to take very big advantage of that. So the expenses you can take for your vehicle, it's the actual vehicle, which what I was telling you, which is the actual standard mileage, or your actual expenses of your vehicle. If you did not have a vehicle and you had a car rental, then you can expense your car rental fees and the gas you put in that car rental. Yes, you could expense the car rental from if you partner up with Uber or Lyft to get a vehicle. Then is your communication. You can expense it. So, which is cell phone, internet, stuff like that. And if you actually bought a phone to get on Rideshare, you can expense that phone as well. Then you can expense supplies like treats, cleaning supplies, and things like that. Then the most important expense there is, which is the miscellaneous expense. That is, you can expense your actual Uber services fees and your booking fees. You'll get those numbers in the tax summary of either both rideshare. In the tax summary, it will tell you how much Uber and Lyft took for booking fees and service fees. And you want to deduct that because it's in the thousands. Another thing is you want to keep all your receipts from your tolls and parkings. You can also deduct your tolls and parkings. So, once again, we're going to go with this. So Uber said you made $55,000. You took all those expenses. You summed it all up. And let's say you spend $40,000. Now the government is only going to tax you on $10,000, right? If you did not save 30% of every time you got paid with Uber, it's going to hit you it's going to hit you like a fist in your stomach. I highly recommend you, due to the fact that Uncle Sam does not take taxes out, Uber does not take taxes out, or Lyft, you need to take 30% of what you make and put it in your savings account so you can pay them at the end of the year. Because sometimes you might owe them $1,000, $500. It fluctuates with different people, but you need to pay that. And you need to file your taxes and pay this before April 15th. The due date is April 15th. If you don't pay nor file your taxes before April 15th, you get interest and you get a penalty for not doing so. So please, we're going to recap all this. You need to have all your expenses. Once again, which ones are your expenses? Your vehicle expenses. So which is jotting down your miles and using the standard mile deduction, or you can put all your expenses that you wasted on your vehicle and do the actual expenses. It's highly recommended that you do the standard miles due to the fact that you put a lot of miles in your car and you will get more of a tax deduction with the standard mile. Then if you had car rental, there's the rental fees and the gas fee. So you need to keep all those receipts. If you had car rental, the communication. What I didn't say earlier was, as far as communication, you want to just put in the amount that you use for business. You can't expense your whole cell phone bill. You have to only expense your business part of it. So if you drove 80%, 50%, whatever your bill is, then you say, all right, if my bill is $50, half of that's $25, that's what I'm going to put. Obviously multiply that by 12 months. But communication is a key because you need your phone. And due to the fact that you need your phone, but you don't drive 24 hours and you mostly don't work every day, you need to just expense what you use for business. And then there's the supplies. So there's drinks, water, whatever treats you give to your customers, and your cleaning supplies. So Armor Roll, incense, whatever you put into your vehicle so it could smell good, look good, you can supply that. And then the miscellaneous expenses, which is the Uber's booking fee and service fee. Also for Lyft, booking fee and service fee. You can deduct that. Once again, most of this information, you can get it at your tax summary of Uber and Lyft, and you can get that at the dashboard when you enter the portal of Uber and Lyft. Hopefully this information was good. Hopefully it's something that you needed to hear and it was useful. If you have any questions, write your comments on the section below. Hopefully you subscribe, join this team, please, and see my journey, because I'm going to share every day. I'm going to make a video about the journey that I had with Uber and Lyft. And at the end, hopefully you will know if it's worth it or not. Check you out soon. I'm going to put in my Instagram the image of what the expenses and how does it look and what you need to do. So if you want to check my Instagram, it can give you another help and help you out with what you need. Hope you take care. Thank you for watching.